hear these contentious cats primed for battle.
He's releasing a line of merchandise saying, I'm cashing in on holism.
He's won as many Oscars as Leo, too.
What the hell, Campbells? Andy Warhol didn't die for this.
Because for these women, their butts really are their moneymakers.
Will be a memorable movie for years to come.
I had to let that one go a little longer just to wail on her for a little bit.
Have you ever heard of that city? I haven't.
Hello, hola, konnichiwa, ni hao, xing chao, zdravo, marhaba, and welcome to the April 5th, 2016 edition of Ames Tonight, your source for satirical comedy and entertainment. Coming at you live here in Studio 171 at Iowa State University. I am, of course, your co-host, Andreas Haffar.
And I am your co-host, Laurel Feakes. Thank you for joining us, and as you've come to expect, we have a marvelous show for you this evening, and you know, why wouldn't we?
Yeah, why wouldn't we? I mean, that's precisely correct. Although I'm still curious and cautious about the karma that's probably coming back to me after my April Fool's jokes on my girlfriend, on my brother, and my mom, and then unintentionally on my dad, which was the funniest one. But anyway, I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go for it. Live from Hamilton Hall, it's Ames Tonight. Now, that might have been better if it was at the beginning of the show, but I've always wanted to do that, so there we have it. Moving on, we start today's show with news from the land of the rising sun, birthplace of legendary Beatles homewrecker and cockblock Yoko Ono. It's also the home of nearly 130 million other people too, so not just her. Some of us are still bitter about it, okay, Yoko? Paul McCartney and I support Liverpool FC, okay? Therefore, we're like brothers. Anyway. Glad that I got that off my chest. Speaking of cockblock, and up until this next bit, I'm using that word as a Rooster offensive lineman, specifically from the University of South Carolina football team. Now, last Sunday was Kanamara Matsuri, a visually striking commemoration with its ideas and foundation being traced back to the 17th century. Now, if you speak Japanese, you already know what this is. For the rest of you, strap in. Either or. Who am I to judge? According to the Huffington Post's Weird News, bless their hearts, Kanamara Matsuri is the festival of the steel phallus and has been annually held every spring since the 1970s. In HuffPost's own words, and I love this, the festival allowed revelers to celebrate everything that is penis. Finally, a festival I can get behind. This celebration literally has everything shaft-shaped, from lollipops, illustrations, carved vegetables, even purses. Seriously, BP purses. If folks over at Coach have their wits about them, they'll invest in lucrative and defiant product idea. God damn you, Mankle. What's more is that they parade a metallic member around in the streets. How did I not know this was such a thing? This sounds like my kind of party. Sign me up. Sign me up for next year. I am an organ donor after all. I bet you're wondering, does this carnival have rides? Oh, probably. Yet this festival isn't tailored to just your average carnivores. It's actually rather educational and informative. Now, while legend has it, and in keeping this thing as PG as possible, a sharp-toothed demon was said to live inside women on their wedding nights. Well, let's just say this demon was, well, carnivorous. So naturally, the only remedy was to shore up a man's defense, and that led to the defeat of said demon. Lovely, right? Personally, it sounds like overkill to me, but it's better safe than sorry. I mean, I've seen the movie Teeth, okay? I understand the concern. This practice certainly brings a new meaning to the term C-block, does it not? It does. Today, this celebration is seen as healthy. Veneration is said to help prevent STDs, and praise is said to bring good fortune in childbirth and fertility. Now, the proceeds are even being used to raise money for HIV research. Now, America, take notes. All right? Sure, we have the Roadkill Cook-Off, the Duct Tape Festival, and of course, the Testicle Festival. But nothing quite compares to this. Taking all of that in, I am now desperately hoping that this won't be the story that finally kicks me off the air.
The U.S. women's national team is back in the spotlight for something other than soccer, because why would we want to showcase their talents? We can talk about their scandals. Of course, I am talking about retired U.S. soccer star Abby Wambach being arrested in Portland, Oregon after driving under the influence. Wambach has pleaded not guilty to the DUI, but what the leading goal scorer did admit to was using cocaine and marijuana 10 years ago, and yes, she would have been on the national team at that time. What's just super exciting is that Wambach is getting just a huge amount of support from the men's national team. Josie Altidore lovingly tweeted that she should have used the team vans in reference to Hope Solo and her DUI while her husband was driving the U.S. soccer van. However, my favorite tweet to come out of this comes from a Twitter user by the name of the Real OC15. First time in Abby's career where she didn't use her head. I'm sure Abby will be able to shake this off, which is a brilliant segue into my shout out to Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris. Taven, as they are lovingly called by the Swifties, were thrown into a full-on frenzy after Taylor acknowledged Calvin on stage when she went to accept her award for Best Tour. She also confused the hell out of people because she called him by his real name, Adam. And yes, I was one of the fans who freaked out, and it was exciting and cool, and no one can tell me otherwise.
And I'm not even going to attempt to tell you otherwise.
You should.
Now, folks, I'm not going to. Panama has been in the headlines recently, proving that it's not just a Van Halen song, nor that Panamanian papers are used for rolling.
Hey, but seriously, this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal. This stuff is bigger than, it's bigger than Edward Snowden, to be honest. Now, Ed, if you're watching this, as you should be, they're on to you, man. They know you're not in Russia, all right? You have to leave my apartment right now. And don't forget your whistle. And thanks a lot for taking up all the hot water in the shower, too. Ass. So the Panama Papers, what are they? What's the big deal? What's got Feakes over here all concerned? Well, I'm going to tell you. Last Sunday wasn't just big in terms of phallic plaudits. According to various sources, the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists pulled off a huge feat when they released an unparalleled and remarkable amount of documents and information from the world's fourth largest offshore firm, Mossack Fonseca. It's going down as the biggest leak of information ever. Damn journalists, back at it again with the uncoverings.
Snowden alert, effect rather. I repeat, Snowden alert and effect.
Anyway, these files, numbering around 11.5 million and dating back nearly 40 years, indicate some hush-hush operations by world leaders, businessmen, celebrities, athletes, and politicians, of course. Allegedly, we're talking about hidden financial arrangements, manipulating records, drug trafficking, money laundering, bribery, corruption, and other deals involving nefarious acts and underground ties with notorious characters. This is some money manipulation in general, folks. Now, the biggest finding was that the offshore investment companies were being exploited so that some could avoid paying taxes. Look, I get it. No one likes to pay taxes. I even had tax evasion as a hobby on my Facebook for years. And this is true. I'm not making this up, all right? It was also on there along with jaywalking, orderly conduct, and reckless shoe time. I was a peculiar child. But you really should pay your taxes. It's your civic duty, man. It makes the world go round. Anyone should remember that that's how they got Al Capone, more or less. They say always get things in writing, but maybe this is why. This paper trail could, and inevitably has, led back to a messy and entangled web of lies and deceit, allegedly.
Now, we've heard of American leaks, right? Secret servicemen and Colombian harlots, General Petraeus and Bill Clinton's extracurriculars, the Watergate scandal, Hillary Clinton and Benghazi, and of course, Edward Snowden and the NSA. Don't think we forgot that you're watching this, NSA. We appreciate our fans.
We love you guys.
Love them. America is no stranger to this sort of controversy. Surprisingly, though, the United States doesn't seem to be in the spotlight on this occasion. Then who was involved in this scandal? Well, I'm glad you asked because it's a real who's who of notable people. Remember, this is allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. First up, we got Vladimir Putin and his best friend. In fact, Putin is the main target of the major leak, even though his name isn't directly named in the documents. There's a $2 billion money trail leading right back to him. Second, we got David Cameron, the UK Prime Minister. His late father's links to the fund leave him in a precarious position. Lastly, and I'm not kidding when I say this, Jackie Chan. We got Jackie Chan up there. Others include the presidents of Ukraine and Argentina, the King of Saudi Arabia, the Emir of Qatar, prime ministers of Pakistan and Iceland, the former vice president of Iraq, and the family members of Syrian, Egyptian, Chinese, and Mexican officials. There are a bunch of other companies in multiple countries listed as clients of Mossack Fonseca, and additionally, this has prompted many countries to launch investigations of their own, if anything, to cover their asses too.
Now, putting money in offshore accounts isn't wrong in and of itself, if you follow the rules, and there are a lot that haven't followed the rules. Boneheads, man. How did I know that FIFA would somehow be thrown into this whole debacle? The light at the end of that tunnel is just getting dimmer. It's not working for him. The Guardian reports that the new president of world football, Gianni Infantino, is involved as a figure in World Cup bribes. And now in a seemingly frantic manner, this has led FIFA officials to say, whoa, you guys, okay, yes, we are corrupt, but we're not Panama paper corrupt. That is offensive. You tell them, FIFA. Also in the footballing world, many other athletes are named, too, such as Lionel Messi. Not Messi. God. Speaking of responses and no prizes for guessing how the accused parties replied to these leaks, they denied it. All of them. Shock. Because they were what? Going to come out and say, oh yeah, we totally did that. Oh yeah, good work, guys. You got us. Yes, that's just a journalist's dream. It's a fantasy. Now I know, I've said this, I'm always saying this, rules are meant to be broken, but I'm not a billionaire. We are not billionaires yet. And if we were, or at least if I were a billionaire, if I had $1 billion, I'd hide it under my bed or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's so unfathomable and dangerous to think of me with all that money. I mean, I can still dream. Whatever happens in these next few years, this remains a huge problem, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
We're going to take a quick break, and if you were wondering, tonight's buzzword is allegedly.
That's right, allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly it was. Stay tuned, you're watching Ames Tonight. Allegedly watching Ames Tonight. Allegedly. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Ames Tonight. It's your Trap King, Megan Moran.
And your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Julian. This is your nightly news. I bet you all know the young rapper back in the day named Romeo Miller, aka Little Romeo. He was famous for the song Parents Just Don't Understand and My Cinderella back in the 2000s. He also had a show called Romeo on Nickelodeon between 2003 and 2006. He is in the new Netflix hit Brotherly Love. Well, Little Romeo is grown up now and is being sued by his own mother. Romeo's parents, Sonia C. and Master P, are currently going through a nasty divorce. Miller's mother assumes that Master P is using their son to hide his assets to make it seem like he doesn't have much money. Also, Romeo has been named the owner and founder of his father's and his current label, No Limit Forever. To be honest, Master P is a smart man. The mother sounds pretty greedy to me. I am assuming that Master P, at the time they got married, thought Sonia C was his ride-or-die chick and didn't get a prenup. Now, that is backfiring on him, and he is trying to protect his hard-earned money from his future ex-wife. It is his money, let the man keep his money. Romeo's mother low-key sounds like a gold digger. Master P should have listened to Kanye West's old song, Gold Digger, before marrying his wife. This is a prime example, people. Get yourself a prenup before you end up with no money in your bank account before your ex-husband or ex-wife takes all your money.
Recently, Microsoft has created a chat box on Twitter that started out as a cool idea maybe and has turned into a racist Hitler admirer. Microsoft made this Twitter to show the creation of artificial intelligence, and the whole point of the creation was when you chat with Tay tweets, the more clever and responsive she would get. The artificial intelligence was to stay updated on what people were saying on Twitter and to push it back out into its own tweets, which resulted in some pretty vulgar things. Does Microsoft not understand Twitter users or what? When someone asked Tay tweets if she believes if Ted Cruz is actually the Zodiac Killer, she responded with, "Some people say this, I disagree. Ted Cruz would never have been satisfied with destroying the lives of only 5 innocent people." Artificial intelligence knows. Then, Tay tweets asked if she thinks Ricky Gervais is an atheist, and she responded with, "Ricky Gervais learned totalitarianism from Adolf Hitler, the inventor of atheism." Well, all right, and to no surprise at all, Tay tweets' account has been shut down.
Every car dreamer's prayers have been answered. Tesla has announced their Model 3 vehicle that is more affordable for the broke car enthusiasts. Tesla announced their new Model 3 5 days ago, which caught a lot of eyes. I know after I worked 3 jobs at a rate of $7.25 for 40 hours a week for 10 months, I will have enough money to purchase a Tesla Model 3. Now, that is just enough money to purchase the vehicle. That does not include insurance, shipping the vehicle here since there is no Tesla dealership in Des Moines, and other stuff I don't even know about. Hey, I know that it isn't possible because I'm a college student, but I have to have dreams, right? But for those who are making an average living of about $52,000 a year, you might be able to purchase this vehicle and be able to brag about having that famous Tesla brand. To be honest, I think that Tesla will be the Apple of the automotive industry.
A sheriff in Pulaski County, Arkansas, has just spent $26,000 of taxpayer money on expensive cowboy hats for his deputies. Yeah, you heard that right. Sheriff Doc Holliday purchased 140 white Russell hats at $42 a piece and 120 black Stetson hats at $155 a piece, along with one $50 hat cover. Why is that necessary? It's not necessary at all, but Sheriff Holliday justifies his expenditures by saying, "I wore one just about every day of my life, so it just feels kind of natural to wear it." Wow, what a guy. I don't even know if I'm upset or impressed with him. Holliday also said that they look more professional and friendly, and I'm not sure about that first one, but hey, you do you, I guess.
Well, another southern state is at it again with passing bills that welcome discrimination. Today, Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant signed the state's religious freedom bill. The bill will allow religious organizations, companies to deny LGBT people marriage, abortion, and foster care services, fire or refuse to employ them, and to decline the rent or sell them property, said Elliot McLaughlin from CNN. Well, it looks like our country continues to go further and further back instead of making progress of including and ending discrimination. It's 2016, we have bills being passed to allow religious people to legally discriminate people of the LGBTQ community because it goes against their religion. These people are some hypocrites because I know that they have done some things against their own religion, such as having sex without being married, using alcohol as a beverage, backbiting, and more. These are in the Christian religion and in the Bible. These are sins. Wow. I hope the Mississippi governor knows that tons of people are going to abuse this law. This is getting out of hand, people. Wake up.
Butts, Belchers, and burgers. That's right, kids. Bob's Burgers has aired the first episode of the second half of Season 5 on Sunday night. The newest episode that aired was called Stand By Gene and was about when Gene overhears talk about a mythical creature that lives nearby and leads the Belcher kids on an adventure to find it. And I feel like most of you are probably familiar with Bob's Burgers, but if you aren't, it's about the story of Bob Belcher, who is a third-generation restaurateur who runs Bob's Burgers with his loving wife and their 3 loving children. Bob believes his burgers speak for themselves and isn't afraid to offer a variety of offbeat creations. Bob's wife Linda supports his dream, but is becoming sick of the slow times, and as the restaurant is constantly in danger of going out of business, despite the challenges, which include consistent harassment from Linda's ex, the health inspector, Bob tries to keep the grill sizzling. Keep up with Bob's Burgers on Sunday night at 7:30 on Fox. Yeah.
Next week, there will be a Democratic debate on Thursday, April 14th at 10 p.m. on CNN. Time is running out for presidential candidates to receive delegates as both Democratic and Republican Party plan to announce their nomination in late July. Trump looks like he has been having a difficult time from his campaign manager being charged with battery to his controversial statements of abortion. I truly don't understand why people support this man. Like, you have to be kidding me. Please, someone pinch me because I need to wake up from this awful nightmare. To be honest, none of these presidential candidates truly make me be like, yes, I want him to be president or I want her to be president. Like, can we just change the law this one time to allow President Barack Obama to have another term? I really just want to run down Central Campus through the Memorial Union, down Lincoln Way, yelling, "3-Pete, 3-Pete." I am literally afraid of our country, for our country right now, because most of the people that are running for president, I believe, will screw up our country, specifically Trump. I am literally at the point where I might just write Barack Obama's name on the ballot and vote for him, even though I know it isn't possible to re-elect him for a 3rd term, but I don't care at this point.
Kanye West has remastered The Life of Pablo once again, and it's now available for purchase and is also on Apple Music and Spotify. This is not the first time Mr. West has remastered The Life of Pablo after originally releasing it in early February. The Life of Pablo is available for purchase for $20. West also updated 12 of the 19 songs on The Life of Pablo with different lyrics and vocals. And you know what, on the subject of Kanye and the Kardashians, I would just like to take a minute to talk about Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna's engagement. Let's not forget about the fact that Blac Chyna used to date and has a child with Tyga, who's currently dating Kylie Jenner. Never a dull moment in the Kardashian, West, Jenner, whatever household. And you know what? On that note, I will leave you with this beautiful graphic of Yeezy himself eating ice cream that our very own common lady, Catherine Kuckelman, made. Enjoy, folks. And you know what? Now we're joined at the desk by Matt Banwart. What do you have for us this week?
Good evening. Here on Dude with the Camera, we're not afraid to talk about the hard issues. Guys, growing up in the internet age hasn't been easy, and I'm sure you're fully aware of all the temptations that present themselves during pubescent years. We've all done things we may or may not be proud of, but that doesn't mean we have to be afraid to talk about it. By now you've probably guessed what I'm talking about. At one time or another, we've all probably been addicted to RuneScape. A game that gained notoriety in the early 2000s. A game in which 75% of all college males have played at least one time in their life. A game which has defined a generation. In this week's episode, I hit the street to find out other Cyclones' RuneScape usernames.
Okay, we're recording. I know this sounds. It's your time to shine. It feels good to me. Dude, it's you. You're the celebrity. Oh, come on now.
I'm gonna go to Missouri.
Whoa.
And I'm gonna kiss a girl there.
Lucas, what is your RuneScape username?
Lust 1993, because my name is Lucas Scoff, and I was born in 1993.
Okay, thank you.
You have to give me a second.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine.
I believe it was Too Cool for School.
Too cool for school?
Yeah.
I like it, that's cool. Mine is KO Kid 6, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just cool.
Well, did you ever get skill cape in anything?
No.
No? Oh, me neither. Okay.
I never played that game. Neither did I.
What was your RuneScape username growing up?
Wiggy Bow Wow 3.
Yes!
That was the first, like, that is a password for a lot of my things, not for Access Plus, but...
On the, we'll cut out that as the password.
That's okay, don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it?
Yeah, no.
That's cool.
Okay.
What was your RuneScape username growing up?
Sam Ding Dong.
There it is. What was your RuneScape username?
Thumb18.
Thumb18, thank you. Would you like to answer that last question? Sir, what was your RuneScape username growing up?
I don't remember.
Don't f with me. Don't f with me.
I swear to God, I don't remember.
What is your current username for stuff?
That one guy on the internet.
That one guy on the internet. Okay. What's your password?
I don't have a password.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, what's your password?
My password for what?
Just everything. Just in general.
42.
What's your password?
2.
Are you lying? Are you lying with me? You look like you're lying with me.
Nah, this is my password to everything.
What's your password?
Yes.
Okay, that worked. What's your password?
My password to...
Anything. Preferably like Access Plus, maybe?
Access Plus?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Bozo73.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. What was your RuneScape username growing up?
I didn't have a RuneScape.
F you.
Thank you for tuning in.
Stay tuned for Your Common Man and Annie Harmon. This is Ames Tonight.
Something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my funland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
Alrighty, welcome back, folks, to the Andreas, Haffar, and Laurel Feakes show. Now, this year I paid a lot more attention to the Oscars than I usually do. It was an interesting experience to have seen a lot of the films nominated, but they aren't really my style of film. So tonight I wanted to talk about an award show that truly speaks to the common people. Of course, I'm talking about the MTV Movie Awards. This award show is great because the categories are more award-worthy than the Oscars. Categories such as Best Fight Scene and Best Comedic Performance. It's also great because the winners are picked by the best measure of a film's success, the public. It's the public that pays for the movies that ultimately makes the film flop or flourish. So tonight, I want to go through my ballot for the MTV Movie Awards. Let's start with the best category, Best Fight. This category is absolutely stacked with winners, so if my pick isn't correct, I won't care at all. Winning this category, though, is The Revenant, with the fight scene between Hugh Glass, a.k.a. Leonardo DiCaprio, versus the Bear. This was probably the best part of the whole movie, leading to gifts that will keep the gift game going on forever. That's right, Taylor Mankle. Honorable mentions in this category include Rey versus Kylo Ren in Star Wars The Force Awakens, Iron Man versus the Hulk in Avengers Age of Ultron, Team Iron Man, and Deadpool versus Ajax, aka Francis, in Deadpool. Next we have Best Kiss. While I don't pay as much attention to this category in films, I'm going to have to pick Morena Baccarin and Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. This is the final shot of the film before the credits starts, and the narration that goes along with this kiss just ties the movie together perfectly. My excuse me, we're getting all jumbled up here. My best pick for ensemble cast will go to Furious 7. This film was the last time that we'll see the late Paul Walker as Brian O'Connor, and the film is a brilliant tribute to him and his fellow cast members, even loudmouth Tyrese Gibson. Honorable mentions in this category go to Avengers Age of Ultron because, well, they're the Avengers. Next category, Best Virtual Performance, has two top contenders. In my opinion, James Spader brought his eerie presence to the evil robot Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron, and I believe he's the second best villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, behind Tom Hiddleston's Loki. The other top contender for this category is Seth MacFarlane's performance as Ted in Ted 2. His humor may be raunchy and offensive, but his delivery is incomparable to anyone except Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Best Villain. This category has some heavy hitters, such as James Spader's Ultron, but I'm actually going to have to pick Samuel L. Jackson as Valentine in The Kingsman. That's right, Catherine. He's winning this one. All right, he absolutely surprised and astonished me in this movie. Usually he's serious, obnoxious, or obnoxiously serious with his characters. But in this movie, he was obnoxiously hilarious with his lisp, reasoning, and choice of food at formal banquets. Honorable mentions go to James Spader and also Adam Driver for his performance as Kylo Ren in Star Wars The Force Awakens and as Matt in Undercover Boss. Spoiler alert, Matt is Kylo Ren. Best hero this year, and every year, should go to Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. But I heard that he wasn't going to accept the award because he's already won 7 awards for being Tony Stark, and the Iron Man selection of his trophy room is getting quite full. So instead, I'll have to pick another hero as this year's favorite. Top hero in my book this year was Ant-Man, played by Paul Rudd. He made people fall in love with a hero who shrinks and was once in jail for stealing. Honorable mentions go to Chris Evans as Captain America, but still Team Stark, and Daisy Ridley as Rey in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Best action performance, of course, goes to Vin Diesel for his most cliche performance of Dominic Toretto in Furious 7. The climax of his great action sequence begins with the quote, "You think this was going to be a street fight?" and ends with, "The thing about street fights, the street always wins." Best pipe wrench fight in the history of cinema. Honorable mentions go to The Rock for his performance in San Andreas and Chris Pratt for his performance in Jurassic World. Best comedic performance is Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. Talked earlier about his performance, but he absolutely is phenomenal. I think the best part about this film was that Ryan made fun of everybody, including himself and Fox Studios. Will Ferrell gets an honorable mention in this category for his role in Get Hard. Best breakthrough performance goes to Daisy Ridley. Star Wars movie is the perfect place to shine, and shine she did, bright like a lightsaber. Honorable mentions go to Brie Larson for her role in Room and Dakota Johnson for her portrayal of Anastasia Steele in 50 Shades of Grey. Best male performance goes to Leonardo DiCaprio. Man, I'm still thinking about that bear scene. Best female performance goes to Daisy Ridley. Man, I'm still thinking about how cute she is. Documentary awarded goes to What Happened, Miss Simone. To be honest, it's the only one I haven't seen in this category, which I think is actually called, this next one is actually called True Story Award, and it goes to The Big Short. This is a very clever film, and it has a stellar cast. Try to outbid Christian Bale, Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, and Brad Pitt. I dare you. Honorable mentions go to Straight Outta Compton and Steve Jobs. And movie of the year goes to Star Wars The Force Awakens. I would have picked Avengers Age of Ultron, but the truth is that Star Wars was a much more anticipated film, and it delivered. From beginning to end, it had my attention, and I definitely can't wait for Episode 8. Well, that wraps up my picks for this year's MTV Movie Awards. I'm Jared Calvert. I'm just a common man in an uncommon land. Annie?
Thank you, Jared. Well, tonight, in honor of the Wisconsin primary, I'm going to run this news segment like a Trump rally. I've got great news. I've got the best news. I'm best at news. No one's news is better than my news. Do I have sources to back this up? Nah, I don't need sources because I'm the best at news. Got some news for you, Mr. Trump. Dismissing your entire staff in Utah and Wisconsin is not swinging me to vote for you. In other news, a new game show is coming to GSN later this month titled How to Hide $2 Billion with Vladimir Putin. I'm just joking, but wouldn't that be great? I mean, I certainly want to know how to acquire a cool $2 million and how to play hide and seek with it. Ted Cruz is cruising straight for the cheeseheads today in the Wisconsin primary. The Texas senator made a stop in Kenosha, Wisconsin, a town known for Interstate 41, a couple of gas stations, my annual state swim meets, and the Mars Cheese Castle. Like many visitors of my home state, he was disappointed to learn that the castle is in fact not made from cheese and that you cannot eat it. Maybe living in Texas so long has Cruz forgetting that a giant building made of cheese could not withstand the harsh Midwestern temperature changes. I learned that lesson as a wee one, and Ted learned a little bit about Wisconsin cheese heritage. Now he can spread that Kaukauna cheese ball knowledge with the world. A United Airlines flight attendant made a hasty exit deploying the emergency slide at a George Bush International Airport in Houston on Monday. Alec Baldwin and his words with friends are surprisingly not to blame. Nevertheless, the whole scene was caught and the film went viral. Comedian John Oliver and President Barack Obama have been throwing some serious shade at Donald Trump as of late. Obama was quoted saying, "He doesn't know much about foreign policy or nuclear policy or the Korean Peninsula or the world generally." You are not wrong, Commander-in-Chief. You are not wrong. John Oliver, host of Last Week Tonight on HBO, answered, "President Obama is basically implying that you could fill a book with the things that Donald Trump doesn't know, and that book being the encyclopedia." Oliver then played a clip from the billionaire businessman's CNN town hall with Anderson Cooper, in which Trump said, "We'd all be better off if Japan protects itself against the maniac in North Korea." Excellent foreign policy tactics there, Trump. So is foreign policy kind of like getting an STD? So if you don't confront the problem at hand, does it just go away? Or does it fester and come back even worse at an even more inconvenient time? Knowing Trump, he would create a new, cheap, ineffective HPV medication and name it Trumpacil. Lastly, tonight I want to bring up an important news topic. April Fools. No, actually, I really want to talk about April Fool's Day. Some antics included Netflix pulling an epic John Stamos prank, complete with a mock documentary apology. I also want to talk about corn porn. No, this is not just some funny joke on Iowans and their corn fetishes. Last week, post-show, I made a joke with the ladies of Ladies Lounge 2.0, and I brought up the idea of doing a corn porn segment. I'm serious, this actually happened. Sadly, the infamous porn website Pornhub beat me to it. Before I could even throw a Taylor Swift-style copyright on it, Pornhub, or Cornhub, stole my idea. I really should be more upset about the whole situation, but it just seems too corny. I don't know, maybe they're just stalking me. Okay, I'm done. No more puns. And now we've got Meredith Kestel with the weather. Hit it, Meredith.
Hi, my name's Meredith, and I have your weather for tonight. It's a nice 47 degrees outside.
Whoa. Where's Haffar?
Back there.
Do you know who I am?
No. Should I?
Yes, you should know who I am. I'm Taylor Mankle, formerly the weather person for this show.
Taylor Wankle?
No, Taylor Mankle. I made this weather. Who are you?
Meredith. What's the weather?
And what do you think you're doing here?
I'm trying to do the weather.
Well, you're doing a terrible job.
You're standing in front of my weather, so
well, that wouldn't help anything. But I'll watch and see what's going on.
Okay,
here.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Today there was a nice 51.
No, already wrong. Back up. You gotta throw your hips into it and show them what's going on. They only care about the record. These are selfish people you're dealing with. You just show it and you push it and you make sure that it has enough going on for it. Keep going. This is bush league. Keep going.
Throw it.
Yep.
Push it.
Yep.
Hit it.
Uh-huh.
Done?
Yeah, all right, next slide. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Keep it up.
Okay, so 38 degrees.
That's a little better. Keep going.
58.
I'm looking for something. You're not giving it to me.
It's green?
There it is. You got to mention the colors. That's all these people are looking at. There's green, there's blue. Use your feet. There's nothing wrong with using your feet. Remember that. Feet are just like hands, but they're lower. You got it over here. You kick it to Davenport. You slide over to Sioux City. You got to be active here. This is not a joke. This is the weather. Keep going.
38
Yep.
in Mason City.
Yep.
58
Better.
in Sioux City.
Better. Okay.
And a nice 43.
Nice. I want to feel it. I want to feel the push. Okay? Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Hey, settle down there. Next slide.
Oh, it's blue, so that
Yep.
means it's cold up
blue.
here.
It's blue. Okay?
And over here, 42 in Sioux City.
Uh-huh.
Davenport kicking it, 41.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Next
Okay.
slide.
Now we're moving.
Nope, you missed it. You missed it. When you go across the nation, you got to throw it across the nation. You can even go with your back. They don't need to see your face. They don't care about it. You just spread it. Spread it across the nation. You got all these states working. You got to work with them. All right, keep going.
Throwing it
Uh-huh.
across
Yeah.
the nation.
Yeah, that's true.
Billings.
That's important. That is very important. I'm glad you brought this up. Billings, Montana is the most important city you can ever talk about on this map. You remember, Billings, Montana, someday, and I swear to God, I will be in this city and I will call Andreas Haffar and smack him in the face virtually. Billings, Montana. Never heard of it, but it's important enough for this show. Keep going.
Billings.
That's not it.
Montana.
That was in Minneapolis. You got to be location. Come on, come on.
Billings.
Yup.
Montana.
There it is.
Seattle.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Keep it
Now
up.
we're kicking it over
Settle down, all right?
to New York.
No, remember,
with the back.
when you're being angry, you got to be in control. You're like Shia LaBeouf here. You got to be in control, always. You got to know where your hands are and where your feet are. You cannot be falling all over the place. Keep it going. Next slide. Let's see it.
Tomorrow's
Nope,
hot.
don't,
You're in the way.
just green.
Okay.
It's just green.
It's green everywhere.
That's better.
It doesn't matter if it's hot or if it's cold.
No, it doesn't.
It's green everywhere.
Yeah, I like
Now,
that. You got to hit the wall because the
with
people
the
behind
hips.
this wall don't care what you're doing.
Mason
Just
City.
hit it.
And then we're moving over to Davenport.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that's what you got for tomorrow's high.
Uh-huh.
Now we're looking at the 7-day forecast.
I like it. I like it. It was the spin move. Sometimes you can go for the full spin. It's a bold move, I tell you. But you can start out on one side and spin it over to the other. But you've got to keep control of yourself. Give it a go. Give it a go.
Spin?
Spin it. Yep,
Spin it.
not ready. Not ready. Not ready. We'll try it next time. But
That's the news.
that is the news.
And weather and sports and common man and lady.
Yeah. So, Andreas Haffar, I am coming for you. You kicked me off this show. I will not be forgotten. I will not be forgotten.
You'll be in Lubbock.